ready for a wild ride? It's Park Talk Radio. D&B taking shots with hot takes as their ammo. We're talking theme parks, news updates, rides and more. Hold on tight, cause we're about to soar. Talking park, we won't hold back, we're laying it all out. Talking park.
Welcome on in. Good hello to our dear listenership. This is Park Talk Radio, your premier local theme park podcast here in Orlando, Florida. We cover Orlando, both coasts, and around the world, theme parks and the such. This is Bill, one of your hosts, alongside a good buddy of mine who I'll get to in a moment. Feel free, jump in and engage and listen to us alongside your friends on all podcast media at Park Talk Radio. Just give us a search. You'll find us on there, as well as YouTube. You can also follow us on social media at Park Talk Radio once again. Instagram, Facebook, join the group, like the page, TikTok, and the such. And you can send us your voicemails, 407-490-2220. We love to hear your voice. We love to get your text messages. Send us either, and you'll hear it on the show live. We also have email, if you like the long type form, parktalkradio@gmail.com. And introducing your co-host, good buddy Dave. How's it going?
I never drink wine. That's it. That's the end of the quote.
Enlighten me, because well, enlighten our listeners, because I definitely know. What's that from?
That is the original Bela Lugosi in the original Dracula film.
And who's he saying that to?
He's saying that to the lawyer, the attorney, who is coming to the estate to help with the selling of the estate.
Oh.
It ends up being Renfield.
Oh. Nicholas Hoult?
Renfield that he says it to. No, the old Renfield.
Lawyer Renfield.
Lawyer, well, they're both lawyer Renfield. It's just
I didn't see Renfield, so I have no idea.
Oh, well, Renfield is the attorney who comes to Transylvania to help Dracula with his estate.
And Nicholas Hoult plays the same character.
Yes.
Oh, well then.
He becomes Dracula's assistant.
He doesn't like wine.
I never drink.
Look, I never drink
wine.
Well, I've learned something new today. I need to go revisit the old Lugosi Dracula, and I maybe go watch Renfield. Even though it didn't quite make the cut to join us at any year of Halloween Horror Nights, Renfield was not made by Universal, though. Probably.
Give me 1 second.
Type it up.
It's a good movie.
Not good enough for me to have not seen it. I watched Not So Good Lake Mungo tonight. I gotta say, pretty boring. That's here nor there. We're here to talk about some theme parks, and you know what? I've had many a park visit these past few weeks. Check us out on 2 episodes ago, episode 30.
I'm sorry, in the classic Jonathan Harker.
Oh.
Jonathan Harker is the attorney that visits Dracula.
Jonathan Harker. Okay. Still beats me. I definitely have not seen that one. So let's also, please, go ahead and listen to a previous episode, episode 31. Myself, social content creator Brennan, don't forget about her, and great friend of the show and guest on the episode, Xandra. Follow her, Xandra Ventures on the gram. Recounted the opening weekend of Horror Nights and the past weekend as well. I was back. I was once again returning to Halloween Horror Nights. The second weekend of operation, running until November 3rd or 4th. Long time from now. Gotta say, still kicking butt. I went on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I don't have that very expensive every night pass. Certainly not the one with Express either. Thursday was definitely picking up on the crowd. Not as good as the past Wednesday. House is peaking around 40-ish minutes. Quiet Place seems to be the busiest house this year, which is very interesting. Would have thought Insidious or Ghostbusters would have pulled a bit more. However, I guess that old John Krasinski, Emily Blunt duo is pulling it in, and the uniqueness of the attraction being a quiet haunt with nothing interacting or making sound except for the actual scares, be it a shotgun blast, a baby crying, or the scream of a death angel. Thursday, not too bad, limited little sprinkled dust of rain. Friday, progressively busier, started to really build up on some minutes. Houses consistently over an hour. I myself was usually pulled aside by a bar watching the Eagles game. And then Sunday, I got there a little later in the afternoon after the Sunday football. Golly, Dave, was it busy on Sunday? Where it feels like it's really coming back. Not quite hitting those average wait times as Halloween Horror Nights last year in 2023. Though Sunday was pretty darn busy. And it poured. Oh, it poured. So much rain. So much rain Sunday. One of the opening night wasn't as wet as it normally would have been for the Halloween Horror Nights opening night curse here in Orlando. I would say consistently much wetter event for the first 2 weeks. And we're recording on a Tuesday, September 10th. Horror Nights Week 3 starts off again tomorrow. Which I won't be... I might get there a little bit tomorrow, however. Due to other great news. So won't be able to go on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Real quick, I'm very jealous. Second of all, in the 1931 film, Renfield fills the role of Jonathan Harker in the book. So they more or less, in some adaptations, are the same person. In some adaptations, they're not. So it's
somebody doesn't drink wine, and
Renfield and Jonathan Harker are both English solicitor that go to finalize real estate deals with the mysterious, reclusive Eastern European count. So you said you're not able to go due to other good news?
Well, these upcoming days. I might go for a little bit tomorrow after my other gig that I have during the weekdays. Yep. We're recording on a Tuesday because on Thursday, I'll be shipping off.
Are you going to share with us what the other good news is? Or?
I'm shipping off onto my bachelor cruise. Getting the hell out of here.
Yes.
I'm leaving groomsman Dave behind.
You're going to need a bigger boat. I really am devastated that I cannot make it. I just... financially and time off of work, I just could not do it.
It's okay. I still got your
for all you guys
goodies here.
Here's your lesson of the day.
Sign.
Don't be poor and don't have to work your life away because you also have a cruise plan.
Oh, that's like the fifth. That's the fifth rule now. Don't be poor. Don't be old. Don't be fat. Don't be working your life away. Don't be jumping into the Epcot Lagoon. You won't fit.
Well, you've got your bachelor cruise, and then we've got a cruise coming up together in less than 2 months. So
it all comes together. So I'll be out of here Thursday through Sunday afternoon. And if you've been on a cruise, you probably don't want to do jack shit after a couple days at sea with some of your
absolutely not.
And we record tonight. And we haven't done a traditional show in a while anyway, so we have plenty of news coming up. That said, I've done mostly only Horror Nights. Still have not gotten over to Animal Kingdom to ride Dinosaur again before they take it away to get my pass holder magnet. I did not get my Harry Potter pin from Universal because they ran out on the first day they freaking had them. But I'll be on an MSC cruise ship, the theme park of the water. I was going to say of the land, which would make no sense. Theme park of the water, Thursday through Sunday, and I'll come back and be sure to regale you in what I can remember.
Yes, I would love to hear the stories.
I'll call into the show, see what we have to say about it. Probably a lot of people saying it fucking sucks. Oh, this show fucking sucks. Still, Horror Nights, I was having an earlier conversation with our good buddy Fisher, and considering my top 3 of the event right now, and it's in flux. It constantly changes, as you know, Dave, and if you go to the event more than one night, especially if you go more times over the weeks throughout the entire run's season. Those house rankings change for you if it's a unique good run, a new effect is working, they take effects away. And that happens due to performer needs. Either the effect is impeding their ability to perform correctly, the effect keeps breaking down, it's not within budget to fix, or they've added something after the fact that was supposed to be there since day one. Currently, right now, my number one house remains still heading into week 3, Goblin's Feast.
Ugh.
Number 2, do you not like that pick based on your pre-hype rankings?
Yeah, no, I did not expect that at all.
Yeah. I mean not to increase your enviousness or give anything away, but
it's okay. It's okay.
Goblin's Feast is number 1. I think number 2 at the moment. This is where things started to change up. I had Quiet Place as number 2, I believe. Number 3, it's dropped down. Number 2, Major Sweets Candy Factory.
I did not expect that either.
Yeah. And then Slaughter Cinema was in the top 3, has now recently dropped out. And I'm really torn on number 3. There's going to be kind of a tie here. You know, Triplets was lower, it's moving up. Ghostbusters is remaining high. But I think number 3 is going to go to Quiet Place. I think that's going to change. And that's really something that really has been sticking in my mind since Fisher left that voicemail last week, where he was talking about the continued use of a very repetitive animatronic. Does it take away from the haunt or your experience if it's consistently the same thing over and over and over? And I think that's actually impacted me at this point.
You know, usually my lists are pretty spot on of what I am expecting, and usually my expectations are pretty spot on when it comes to houses. I mean, last year I did not expect Darkest Deal to be very good, but it ended up being great. It's going to be hard for me to make a list this year, even though I'll try, because
you're going to maybe
normally I attend the event 8 nights of a run. That's about the lowest number of nights I'll attend. No, not the lowest, but usually it's an average of 8 nights a run.
Right, and you typically get there, late September or early October?
Yeah, I usually get there late September, early October. And even if I go later, I'll buy the Frequent Fear Plus and get 2 Saturday night tickets so I can run a Wednesday through Sunday twice. But yeah, only being able to hit the houses, you know, maybe a couple of them twice, but most of them only once. It's going to be hard for me to make a list, you know, especially if I hit a house during a cast change. So we'll see how things go. I'm hoping that, you know, the crowds. Somebody posted a graph. I don't know how accurate the graph is of the average wait times for this year, and
so far, yes.
Boy, so far it is not correlating to what we're used to. So,
right, that's what I was referencing in my earlier talking point. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Might be a little deep into what I was looking at, y'all. As far as that, gosh, just more of this Wolfman imagery popping out. Looks so bad. Hopefully it's not real. Or the final concept.
I've seen everything from, you know, it's not the Wolfman, it's somebody from Wrong Turn to it's just.
Well, there's another post saying they're hiding the real Wolfman. This is like the old Wolfman who bites what becomes the new Wolfman, main character in the movie. So that's why this guy looks terrible.
I could see that if they haven't done a public release of the figure to not give too much away. I highly doubt that's what the character is going to look like in the movie. Especially, it's a James Wan movie, if I'm not mistaken. You know,
it's produced by him, Lee Wanell.
Lee Wanell. Okay, Lee Wanell's also a great director.
Yeah, he did the Invisible Man.
Yeah, so
remake.
Yeah, I don't see the character looking like that. So
here's sure hoping not. All right, I can't find it. But the longest wait so far on average has been Quiet Place, and then the surrounding houses nearby, Ghostbusters and Insidious, have also been relatively long, with Major Suites moving up And for some reason, Universal Monsters moving down or up as well. Sorry, and that one's at the bottom of my list.
We'll knock out those first and get those out of the way, and then we should be able to.
Hey, it's all about that New York staying screen, baby.
Yeah, which is usually not our go-to, but it looks like it's going to have to be this year. So
I will say it's definitely the superior. Though I do want to try Lombard's again here soon enough. It's just for the atmosphere and vibe and the availability of things to get to, be it food, drink, freestyle machines, or otherwise. Before we move on to the news, Dave, any park visits for you? Because you did have one last week.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I talked about watching something on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. If we're doing that, then.
Well, I want you to make sure you get a talking piece and you be involved on this segment.
So I do park visits almost every night, albeit from a camera point of view. I watched some run-throughs of the houses in Busch Gardens and Tampa.
Oh, did their event start?
It did. It started this past weekend.
No, I don't have any
and I also watched a walkthrough of Farmhouse 51, the alien haunted attraction at SeaWorld Orlando.
That's
the
new
walkthrough
one?
attraction. Yeah, it looked pretty booty.
What, the aliens had big old cake asses?
I mean, there was not many aliens in the walkthrough. I mean, maybe 3, but it was a lot of farmers that were like one guy, and bless his heart, he's trying to act, but they're walking through the haunted house, and one of the farmers in the barn comes out and says, "Help me, the aliens took my wife, and she was my favorite cousin." Like, come on, man, it's a haunted house.
They put that in there.
It's just him saying it. Obviously, they don't use audio cues.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you ad lib that? This is not old school crap.
You're in a haunted house. Like, we're not trying to be comedic here, bro.
Awful.
So
awful.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I watched those. That's about it.
Well, I do appreciate your video input, as I normally don't watch a whole lot of theme park vlogs or the sort or reviews. And your continued dedication to watching those is very beneficial to the show, since I don't do it. Maybe you can check out the Horror Nights Singapore, Beijing events and Japan once they get rolling here. I believe Beijing already started with the Jack and Chance icons.
Yes and no, because Singapore, it's very hard to find videos inside the houses. In fact, it's damn near impossible. Same with Japan, damn near impossible to find inside the house videos, but I do like to watch those videos for the exterior shots and the scare zones. So maybe I'll do a little update on those.
Perfect. Alrighty, Dave, let's jump into some news tonight.
Breaking news, let me share the scoop. From the heart of Central Florida, it's all about being in the loop. Time to talk news, spreading international, going worldwide. Theme parks, roller coasters, and all your dark rides. The latest buzz, we're keeping it real.
News brought to you by Listen to Park Talk Radio. We have no sponsors, but please keep on listening, keep on sharing. We love your engagement. We're going to start with some regional news first, as we have a little bit of that before we jump into the big boys. First up, were you aware that back in 2019, April, that Myrtle Beach opened up a 4D theater with an attached, similarly themed gift shop at Broadway at the beach to a IP that is also currently used at Universal?
SpongeBob?
Not SpongeBob.
It's
on Universal Studios side. It's also in Hollywood.
Transformers.
Not Transformers.
The Mummy.
Not
Jurassic
Mummy.
Park.
Not that's not
Oh,
at
wait, that's
Universal
not
Studios side. Ooh.
Fast and Furious?
Oh, heavens no. They hate them in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, just give me a second then, because I'm running out of options here.
You almost gone through all of them.
Shit. So The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
I assume they're getting sued or cease and desist at this moment in time. If that's what you're getting at, then
no.
I'm assuming
they are, after 5 years, the Simpsons themed attraction, a 4D theater with attached Quickie Mart gift shop, is closing down. A bit sudden closure at Broadway at the Beach, reporting that it was much of an active attraction for the summer, and that the doors were closed on the Quickie Mart, with appeared to be fully stocked, and the squishy machine still swirling away. So after Labor Day, this one is no longer functioning. The exterior looked kind of similar to Moe's, but with a ticket booth and then the Quickie Mart attached next to it. As you know, Disney closed the deal, purchased 20th Century Fox back in 2019, and they would have never approved this deal. However, they got this one out the door early in 2019, and now here we are, gone away. Another attraction biting the dust. I've never got to experience it myself. Who knows what it even was? I've never heard of it until I just read about it that it's gone. Couldn't have been that good.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Oh, it's actually, the 4D theater was modeled after the Aztec theater from the Simpsons show. It's Simpsons in 4D, now showing was the title. Very odd. If any of you have seen or been to Myrtle Beach when this was operating, especially if you've been on it, let us know how it was. Maybe you can find a video of this one, Dave.
That makes me want to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
4D movie theaters. Have you experienced? I think you went and saw Twister in 4D?
I did go see Twisters in 4D. I've also been.
Does it?
I mean, I'm assuming this Simpsons one was more close to a Shrek 4D theater, a PhilharMagic.
Yeah.
The SpongeBob 4D, which I believe Williamsburg Busch Gardens had at one point, or King's Dominion, probably King's Dominion had.
Yeah, just asking, just out of curiosity, does a 4D theater take away from the experience of watching the movie, or does it?
Depends on the movie.
Does it get annoying?
Well, again, depends on the movie and depends on if you know what you're getting into and if you want that. So Twisters, not a cinematic masterpiece. It's definitely a fun, enjoyable summer movie. The 4D theater, which the ones at Regal, where they do have them, are much more involved, and it's longer, of course. It's as long as the movie runs for, and intense, versus a Shrek 4D or a PhilharMagic. Definitely added to the experience of Twisters.
Okay.
Now, I've only used the theater one other time, which was Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't think it'd be very good for... I know they put some more serious stuff in there, so I don't know how great.
Alien Romulus, I believe, was in some 4D theaters.
No, every time the aliens like goop slurping, you probably get some spray in the face.
That sounds good to me.
Ugh, alien goop in the mouth.
Alien Encounters Part 2.
Part D.
Beyond
that, I mean, they during the 4D trailers, they did Mufasa, Lion King prequel. They did Beetlejuice. And one other one. So I don't know how much movement you're going to get out of like a Beetlejuice movie. Mufasa, sure, there's going to be action sequences. Twisters, though, it was just strobes, there was fog, your chair is constantly like explode, spin, moving. And it punches you in the back. Like there's a jab similar to the Tough to Be a Bug with the stingers in the butt. But otherwise, the 4D theaters at theme parks are not nearly as advanced or involved, and not something I would traditionally spend my time on unless it's new. Or Brennan says she wants to go see PhilharMagic because that's her favorite.
I do enjoy that one.
I don't need it. I don't need it. Moving over to Hawaii. I didn't even know this was over here. And I didn't know any of these actually existed since Universal tore them down a number of years ago and put up Endless Summer, Dockside, and Surfside. That said, Wet n Wild Hawaii is soon to announce something new for the 2025 season.
Yeah, I didn't know that existed either.
And it appears there are 2 Wet n Wilds left in the world, one in Hawaii and one in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
So they posted a teaser on their Instagram for Wet n Wild Hawaii. Looks like a orange and white colored water slide poking out from beyond a giant red tarp. No other teasers or details have been released. That said, Wet n Wild Hawaii will be getting something new for 2025. And
I couldn't see a water park in Hawaii being very popular, but who knows?
Well, you got a water park up by you that seems popular.
No, it's not.
It's not.
That's why they don't. That's why they don't ever add new attractions.
Oh, and it costs a goddamn fortune to get into because they got to make up the quantity with the large the quantity of people with the financial cost of a ticket. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Wet n Wild Toronto, as I'm reading along here, since it's in the same blurb. For 2024, there's nothing known at this time. There's been nothing added to the Toronto version since 2018. Water park in Canada also seems kind of an interesting choice.
No, you look at Wisconsin Dells and those Northwestern people, and up in Canada, they love water parks, man.
No, they love
You go to
that
Wisconsin
shit,
Dells. Wisconsin Dells has like 50 water parks.
huh?
You know,
Who needs that many water parks?
It's something crazy like that. They have I think that's where the original Great Wolf Lodge is, but they have a lot of water parks.
I got you. Next up for regional park news, this is for Six Flags Great Adventure, and I picked this one out purposefully as this used to be one of my home parks.
20 different water parks in Wisconsin Dells. That's in one city.
One city?
20 different water parks.
That just seems like silly. Because how many people could live in that tiny ass city?
It's a tourist attraction.
No, Wisconsin Dells, the one tourist city in the entire state.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is near the border, yeah?
I'm not sure, but it's got water parks that you would have heard of, like Noah's Ark.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. So they've got Great Wolf Lodge, Noah's Ark, a lot of officially 20 different water parks.
Huh.
So
maybe, wow, do a water park trip just in one state. That'd be, oh man, that's at least 10 days if you're in 2 parks a day.
Yeah.
That's too many. That's way too many.
I'm sure some of them are small little indoor water attractions at a hotel or something like that, but.
Oh, like a Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Or over here on iDrive in Orlando, Coco K.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, geez.
So.
Those are like 2 slides and they barely count.
Mm-hmm.
Six Flags Great Adventure, old home park of mine and not too far away from where I used to live up north. Right across the bridge into Jersey. They are looking, or at least they are hinting at, that they're going to be closing one of their oldest rides, the Skyride, that took place across the park, opened up in 1960. It was used at the version they use at Six Flags Great Adventure was some of the pieces were from the original 1960s version from the World's Fair. And then in 1974, it would be assembled in the park for its grand opening. Today, it's more than likely that they will be closing it down as it did not open in time for the season due to the preseason inspection showing some rust issues detected at the top of the ropeways, some of the ropeways towers, and they failed safety inspections and it was not cleared to operate.
Skyrides are becoming a very defunct thing when it comes to actual theme parks. You see them a lot at state fairs and stuff like that nowadays.
Well,
but
they don't go anywhere. They barely go in a circle.
You don't really see them. Wait a second. Are we talking about the same kind of Skyride?
Well, the Skyride, you go in like a little box-shaped gondola, and it takes you from one side of the park to the other.
So yeah, the Sky Buckets at like Disney.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and around the ones at Disney, and everybody's heard the rumor of it closed because people were throwing feces out of it and stuff like that.
No.
I don't know how true that statement is, but that was always the rumor you heard as a kid. Oh, they closed because people were throwing poo.
I don't remember if I ever went on the Disney one here at Magic Kingdom. You can still see barely, but there's some infrastructure still lingering from it.
over by Space Mountain. There's still the area.
Yeah.
If you're walking towards Space Mountain to the right, and then the old drop-off location on the other side of the park was where the Rapunzel area is.
Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cool picture from back in the day that does show the tower operating in Fantasyland and going past It's a Small World. So this old one...
I did ride that.
I don't remember it. If I did, I don't remember it.
I remember looking down on Dumbo from it as a little kid.
Hey,
it's one of my only memories of it.
Calling some old dumb man Dumbo.
Yeah, he was ugly.
You threw your feces at him, huh?
Yeah, I sure did.
Knew it. I fucking. So with this particular Skyride system and parts being 60 years old at this point, it's unlikely we get some fixins on it. And as Dave mentioned, it's going to the wayside. A lot of these bigger parks are just doing away with it due to the cost of maintenance. We saw Busch Gardens are charging you to ride it to, offset and mitigate some of those maintenance costs. When I was in Hershey Park a couple weeks ago, theirs wasn't working, and that one just kind of takes you from the upper side of the park to the lower side of the park, and not even a whole lot of movement.
I'm pretty sure Knoebels still operates theirs.
Cedar Point still has theirs. Theirs is pretty good.
Yep.
Even though
I did ride Cedar Point.
I did ride that
a couple years ago.
However, with how much they've expanded that park, it barely goes halfway now. It used to go from the entrance to the back, and now it goes not even halfway. Like, oh wow, there's a whole lot of park back there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Save the Skyride petition, as we know. Change.org also always has a great success rate, and a lot of these old Skyrides are made by the All Von Roll, a Switzerland company. 325 signatures at this point for the old Save the Skyride petition. So we will see if they do it. There may be some reinvigorated choice to get this thing fixed up with the merge of Six Flags and Cedar Fair, as the old Cedar Fair parks have been maintaining theirs to a certain degree. Yet to be seen. Final regional park news. And we're seeing this across a lot of regional parks, especially with the haunt season picking up. There's some outcry for Universal to implement this during their Halloween event. Six Flags Great Adventure and a number of Six Flags locations will be putting into effect a new chaperone policy during Fright Fest events. All guests age 15 and under must be accompanied by a chaperone at least 21 years old to remain in the park after 5 p.m. Anyone under that age or not accompanied will be asked to leave or ejected from the park.
See, that blows my mind a little bit. I understand that age. But, I think more your problem starter are going to be your 16 and 17-year-olds. 16 to 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
16 and 19-year-olds.
I don't disagree. I think the challenge is once a person is legally allowed to drive, how are you going to tell them to, fuck off?
Well, you're a private entity. You're a private company.
No, yes, I completely agree. These people drove here on their own volition without any need for someone else in the vehicle. And they weren't getting dropped off. I mean, more than likely. And they have maybe their own source of income and financial support. And they, hey, these guys drove themselves here. We want their money. The kid getting dropped off has enough for our $20 burger and fry.
Okay, so I'll point this out. City Walk on the weekends after a certain time, I think it's 9 or 10
p.m.
9 p.m. If you're under the age of 21, the only place you can go to the movie theaters, and you got to be escorted to the movie theaters.
And they want to visually scan your ticket or see you go up and buy one to know you're not trying to pull a fast one on these guys.
So but there's other things in City Walk that can be done as a younger person. It's not all just bars and clubs. So they implement that
escape
there.
Room.
The escape room, putt.
I think you're allowed to go to mini golf pit pot because because it's right next to pit pot poo poop. They're putting the poo balls again because it's right next to the movie theater entrance. And they used to have teen night at City Walk, no longer the case. And even with a 21-year-old, the 21-year-old's gonna get drunk still. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how much help it's gonna be. Hopefully, if they're chaperoning anybody, they're being smart, not drinking and driving, and putting more than just themselves at risk. In their own vehicle, you're putting everyone else at risk. It's a very selfish bullshit thing to do. I think it's interesting that there's not only a call, but maybe a justified call to have this at Halloween Horror Nights. Since a lot of the anecdotal pieces I've been seeing is there's a lot of fucking teens this year, and they are assholes. Really intentionally beating up on scare actors, intentionally screaming and making a nuisance, and not just being scared screams, but a real look at me, showboat, peacock, butthead scream through the house. So I don't know. With the volume Universal gets, I think it'd be a lot harder to enforce and try to pull off with the limited staff. Not that there's limited staffing on safety, just OPD has better things to do besides, eject
and at
kids
the
out
same
of it.
time, it's very easy for a 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old to find an immature 21-year-old friend to take them to the parks and still act a fool, So, I mean, it probably wouldn't solve much. So.
And what? Then the 21-year-olds feeding them alcohol?
See,
Maybe.
when I take my teenage kids, I don't allow they stay with us the whole time, but I'm like, listen, you're going to hear some shit. You're going to see some shit. Just keep your mouth fucking shut and go along with the flow. And they say, yes, sir. And they do it.
And you keep up with us, or you go back to the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
no
the
bitching,
rules in place.
No complaining.
Yep. So
that's at I cannot talk tonight, Dave. I'm so sorry. Six Flags Fright Fest opens up at Six Flags Great Adventure and several other places on Friday the 13th September. So when the show comes out, this will have already launched. Same thing with Hershey Park's Dark Nights. A lot of haunts kicking off on Friday the 13th. And real quick, so I remembered it, but did not write down this actual topic. I believe on Friday the 13th as well that Busch Gardens Tampa is doing a midnight or some sort of nighttime 5K. Did you see this?
Oh, wow. I did not see that, but that would be really cool.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. I don't know if they've done this here before. Busch Gardens, Tampa, scary 5K. And I'm speaking it out loud because I don't want you to hear the typing in the background.
Oh, we could still hear it.
I know you can hear it, but I want at least you hear that, not just hear me typing. Where are we at with this thing? Busch Gardens Tampa, Howl-o-Scream, because someone posted about doing 13 parks in one day on Friday the 13th. Event info, yes, it's already started. September 6th, they started, yes. 25 years at Busch Gardens Tampa, pulse panning, Well, shit, where is this thing?
Well, that seems like a logistical nightmare. I'll speak while you look for it.
Yeah.
You're going to have scare actors roaming the park, and you're going to have people, running through scare zones at midnight where there's booze being sold. To me, it just sounds like a nightmare unless they're closing at midnight, which haunts don't do nowadays.
Well, this one kind of does. Oh, I completely misread. I'm sorry. This is at Howl-o-Scream in SeaWorld.
Oh.
So, inaugural SeaWorld's Howl-o-Sprint 5K. Howl-o-Sprint 5K parking lot opens at 9:30, so it is at the evening. And it looks like you start in the parking lot and you run basically the entire exterior loop of the park. Oh, and you actually run behind Kraken, behind the coaster, like in the maintenance lanes.
So it's this parking lot opens at 9:30. So in the evening?
For this, 9:30 p.m. for this. Run for your life on Friday the 13th, 2024. As nightfall descends, an air of terror and dread grips SeaWorld Orlando on Friday the 13th. Step into the dark side with the Howl-o-Sprint 5K. Brace yourselves as you dash through a race course filled with unexpected thrills and relentless, bloodthirsty characters who whisper curses and promises of fear. Hey, fatty, get the step in.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Kraken is not open during the event. And I don't believe that region of the park is open during the event. So they're probably having the run take place outside of the scare zones as not to interrupt them.
So that's
what it sounds like.
If you did the pre-sale is $85, $95, and then $100 on the day of. Here's the timeline, Dave. 9:30, parking lot opens. 10 o'clock, registration and packet pickup. 11:30, parking lot closes. At 11:50 p.m., start of the Howl-o-Sprint 5K. At 12 midnight, Finish Line Festival begins at the post-race at Finish Line. And then at 12:45 a.m. is the award ceremony. So you have about 50 minutes to get your ass to the finish line. Only 4,000 people. There'll be a finisher's medal for all participants, a commemorative t-shirt, and a post-race celebration with the Howl-o-Scream bar and live entertainment.
A 5K in less than 50 minutes is very easily walkable.
Yeah. There'll also be a top 3 award for top 3 overall male and female finishers. Third place, let's start at the bottom up. Third place, bronze Howl-o-Scream merch $50 gift card. Second place gets a silver $75 gift card, and first place gets you $100. So if you win, you get your whole race covered for free, basically. It's kind of neat.
That is neat.
How fast can you do a 5K?
If it's just a 5K, 3 miles, give me 21 minutes.
21 minutes. All right, I'm going to write this down. How fast can you do the Jurassic Mile?
Well, that's an all-day event.
I was thinking about that today, like, how do I measure out? Because it's, we walk the queue, and we walk the queue, ride the ride, get a beer, walk into the entrance, right?
Yep.
And then you get a beer each time. You got to do a full mile's worth. I was trying to think in my head, how long would it take, or how many rides it would take, rather, which would equate to how many beers you have to drink.
So,
well, that's a lot of math going there.
let's say a Jurassic Mile is 6 rides.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Six rides. So
6 rides.
We'll do 6 rides.
Okay.
Jurassic Mile is 6 rides.
That won't be all day. That might be 2 hours.
Well, I'm just worried about
a lot of beers in 2 hours.
The Jurassic Park queue is pretty short.
Well, yeah, we can sit outside the queue or pull over on the side.
That's 6 quick beers, dog. I'm gonna be like, that's 6th drop. I'm gonna be going, woo.
Oh, the third drop's gonna be like, oh shit.
I don't know. We'll just go till Brian throws up.
I won't. You don't like beer.
Well,
it might be quick.
Yeah. He said he was going to do it, so
I know.
We'll find him something else to drink.
Alrighty.
We got the watering hole right there, too.
Let's move over to Disney park news now. Starting us off on, I think most of this is actually going to be Disneyland news. We have a little bit of Disney World. So Disneyland starting us off. A new retro bento box souvenir is coming to Tomorrowland Skyline Terrace at Disneyland. It looks pretty neat. Comes in a nice little metal bento box tin. And it includes the chef's choice of a cold sandwich, salad, cheese ball, crackers, and desserts. Available on Friday, September 6th. So this is available now. I've not seen any reviews yet.
This sounds like something I'd send my kid to school with.
It definitely looks like it. Looks like there's a moon pie, some little Ritz crackers, a cheese ball, which looks like just like a ice cream scoop of cheese and pimento mixture. Your salad, Dave. It's a single large piece of romaine lettuce and then a chicken salad or ambrosia salad on top. I'm looking at a mandarin orange and raisins and cherries peeking at me here. The only way to get this is through a fucking reservation. You must make a reservation online in advance. Some same-day reservations may be available. I'm trying to find out what the price is for you real quick. But what is said so far, would you get it?
No.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Oh, here's the full thing. Oh my God. This is actually, goodness gracious. This is part of the dining package. So you get your bento box and a souvenir tin, cold cut charcuterie style sandwich, Waldorf salad, pimento cheese and crackers, seasonal fruit, seasonal desserts. You get the unlimited soft drinks, water, coffee, hot chocolate, and a specialty themed non-alcoholic beverage. This gets you from 6:30 to 10 p.m. You get one food box, and this is special for the fireworks viewing. So for all that, you're paying for the fireworks viewing, Dave. $89
so it's
per guest.
You're paying for a picnic in a box.
Yeah, $89.
$89
to have guaranteed good fireworks viewing, and they'll feed you a cold sandwich for your trouble.
Nah,
definitely not.
Nah, because knowing my luck, it'll be like my sister. She did the Phantasmic party where they got the meal, the Phantasmic dining plan.
Was that here or Disneyland?
Disney World.
Okay.
And she showed up,
Hollywood Studio.
did her dining, they loaded the auditorium for Phantasmic, and then canceled due to inclement weather.
Woo! Did she get any money back?
No, she didn't try. I told her, hey.
Oh, yeah, you could have got some of it back.
When I went to the park and I waited all day for Phantasmic, or all evening for Phantasmic one time, literally, I was in line for I wanted the best seats I could get. I really wanted to see it that night.
Was that
I waited.
That wasn't when you saw Philip the Duck?
Charles the Duck.
Charles the Duck.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, this was different. this was a different time.
Okay.
Because the time I saw Charles, he was hanging out. But no, they canceled the show, and I went up and I was like, hey, I was very polite. I was like, hey,
as you should be.
I was like, hey, is there any chance that we could come back another day and just be let in for Phantasmic? Because we wanted to see it. And they said no, but here's a day ticket. You can come back whenever you want. I was like, oh, sweet.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that's
what year was that?
Mighty nice of you. 2013.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, Davey. I don't know if they're going to do that anymore.
April of 2013.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can still pull that off.
Yeah.
I know when I've done the Phantasmic dining over in Disneyland, you get the full sit down meal at a good place, Blue Bayou, or another choice, and then you get the premium seating on the ground in front of their river. Meal's pretty good. They used to give you a nice little cushion. Not the case anymore. And now they're dragging dead and gone. Dead and gone.
Burnt
dead
down.
And gone. Whoa. Continuing at Disneyland here, Dave. I got some more food you might enjoy better. Since they're the better park and they just get better things. Their Star Wars Land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Batuu West. For the fall time, they have a Batuu Harvest Festival. And with that, they bring a couple new plates here. First up is the Andorian Roasted Chicken Salad. This is marinated chicken, mixed greens, roasted vegetables, pumpkin seeds, and green curry ranch.
Yeah, I get that.
It does look pretty good. You like curry?
Yeah, I don't mind curry.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
$14.79, $15.
That's not too bad.
We have looks like a dessert, Jogan Seed Oi Puff. It's a green creamer puff, green crunch, and ube cream.
I don't even know what the hell you just said, so no.
Green cream puff, green crunch. I don't know what that is, but it's green crunch and ube cream. Let me send you the picture. And the description here says, the green color is off-putting, but don't let that keep you away from this delicious cream puff. So it's like have you had a cream puff?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
No. Looks like a broccoli head or a green sperm boy. The cream inside is good. The shell is crispy.
It looks like a face hugger is going to pop out and attach itself to my face.
Then that cream puff is $7.
And the picture you sent me, the girl's thumb is, her nail is pissing me off.
Fat nail thumbs.
Yeah, no.
And looks like this final piece is available in the Uga's Cantina only. The Surabat Valley Harvest Board. Torched sourdough bread, aji verde infused pork spread, and spicy salsa criolla. Sounds really good. It looks really good. Let me get you this picture real quick. It's like a nice puffy. Oh yeah, nice puffy looking piece of sourdough bread. A nice pork spread.
Because from the description, I would say.
Well, let me get your guess first.
You're
in Disneyland, California based. You have a very fancy.
Is that mashed potatoes or what is that? It's
aji verde infused pork spread.
So like a dip for the bread?
Yes, it's a dip for the bread. It's not hummus. It looks like it, but it's not.
I wouldn't pay more than $11.99.
That is $18, buddy.
Wow. Wow. For some mushed up pork to dip my bread in?
$18.
I mean, it looks good, but I'm not paying more than $11.99 for it.
No. That's a lot of the food. It's all the little finger foods at Uga's is very pricey. Very, very pricey.
Yeah.
Let's see. What next do we have for the Disney one? We'll save that one for last. You mentioned this last week. I did want to come back since it did occur. The first day of standby line for TRON Light Cycle Run has come and passed. It opened up on Monday, yesterday, September 9th. They had removed the virtual queue, and you can now simply walk up and wait in line for TRON Light Cycle Run here at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom and go as much as you like without having to get that damn virtual queue.
Did you happen to look at what the standby was for it today?
So yesterday, when it kicked off today, it raced up to a short-lived. It didn't go there for very long, for 105 minutes.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Just under 2 hours. I don't know how long it stayed there. It does not appear very long, and it went down pretty quickly. When it opened, I believe this is the statement today. Oh, no, Monday, September 9th, when the park originally opened, they had it already at 45 minutes, just anticipating the rope droppers. But then once you got closer to the entrance, it had immediately jumped up to 105.
My thought processes behind virtual queues is that if you can keep your attraction around 100-minute wait time, there's no need for a virtual queue. Give people the opportunity to wait in it if they want to.
Yeah.
You know, you only need a virtual queue when you were running into issues with Hagrid's that was hitting, 6-hour waits,
10-hour waits, 14-hour waits.
10-hour waits. Yeah.
Yep, on the opening weekend, opening day. Looks like it averaged out around like 45 minutes or so for the day, which is not terrible, and you don't have to go through the virtual queue jumping hoop bullshit.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna wait 45 minutes for that one though.
I wouldn't.
I'd say maximum 25. If I was over in the area, it's 25 minutes, and I didn't have anything else to do at that exact moment. And another ride in the area wasn't shorter.
I wouldn't wait that long either. And I've never even rode it, but only if it was a new coaster, yes. But TRON it's a copy and paste from an attraction that has been open for years. So for me,
right, Shanghai's a little hard to get to for us, which is fun, but it's terribly short still.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Walt Disney World, and I'm assuming this is coming to play as, attendance is down across all theme parks, and Universal has introduced a new from now to end of year pass for both their parks. They've introduced their dining plan if you book their hotel. Disney World has offered this in the past, and it's now returning. They're going to once again be offering a water park seasonal pass, valid now through May 23rd, 2025. Which pass is valid for both I say both. both Walt Disney World water parks, that is to say, whichever is open at the time, as Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach trade off for refurb, which they used to be both open. It used to be great. And they both would not be terribly busy. Now one's busy. It's only open. Currently, Typhoon Lagoon is open. Blizzard Beach will reopen in November of this year. Seasonal pass, only $79.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
And they have one section of blackout dates, and that's April 12th through April 20th for spring break.
That's not terrible. That's not a bad deal.
$80 and you get what? September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. You get 9 months.
I'm still more of a Volcano Bay guy.
Oh, yeah, me too. Not a bad deal. But it's $80 to go in for one day at the Bay.
Yeah, so not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal. I can add the water park to my Disney annual pass for $100. And I think there might be more blackout dates. Do they charge for you to park at the water parks? They do at Universal because it's the way it's situated.
I'm not sure.
Interesting. I don't think so.
It would make sense that they did because, I mean, I guess you could still advert partying by going to Disney Springs too, but
oh man, riding the Disney bus in your swimsuit? I don't know about it.
No. I'm saying for the regular parks. I was gonna say people could just park at the water parks, take a bus to Disney Springs or one of the hotels, and then bus back to.
Oh man,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's all good. I don't think they do. And then my quick search says that there's nothing, but they very well could. Please correct us. Up next, couple loses lawsuit against Disney to regain Club 33 membership. Did you read this particular story? This one made the rounds pretty quickly.
Is this the
Disneyland
couple
Club 33
that got kicked out because they were trying to sneak other people in, or?
No, this is the one that got kicked out in 2017 after the man Scott was found drunk in public after getting loaded at Club 33.
I think I did hear that story.
So they joined up in 2012. In 2017, Scott of Scott and Diana Anderson, all public information here, folks, was found drunk in public, which is against the rules, and was immediately kicked out. If you're Club 33, not a cheap spot, a long waiting list with, annual dues of about $32,000 a year. And you have an initial way to get to payment, like an initial payment just to get into it. And this particular couple, pretty wild. They visit Disneyland 60 to 80 times a year. They've ridden the Haunted Mansion almost 1,000 times. And it does say they bring friends, acquaintances, and business associates into Club 33. That said, they were spending nearly $125,000 a year to visit Disneyland. So back in 2017, around 10 o'clock at night, Pacific time, security guards found Scott near Disney's California Adventure entrance displaying signs of intoxication, slurred speech, and trouble standing. His breath smelled of alcohol quite a lot. They're saying he was being quite argumentative, and Scott was saying he was, or Scott's lawyer is saying he wasn't drunk, he was having a vestibular migraine. Sure.
Yeah, that may work in a legal proceeding, but it's not going to work with a private business.
Private business, yeah. They lost their membership in 2017, and they also lost it back in 2016 after Diana said the F word, fuck, a couple times. And they're trying to sue Disney for $231,000 for retribution because they didn't use their membership because they were kicked out. They are not giving up. They're reinvigorated. They've spent $400,000 fighting this already.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you sign up for Club 33, there's a code of conduct contract you probably have to sign.
Oh, that's the first line of the article. that being drunk in public at a Disney location is against the rules for Club 33. Bunch of dum-dums. Scott continues to say, I will sell my kidney if I have to. I am not backing down against them, which you're not going to win, pal.
No.
What a dum-dum. Last two stories to close out here, the Disney section. If you're thinking about going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney's Magic Kingdom, I would get your tickets now. We touch on this and give you an update every time we go through it. September, fully sold out. There are limited dates in October. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates left in October. And that's all they have for this year, folks. They don't go into November like old Universal. They don't add more dates. They don't add more tickets. If they're sold out online, it is nearly impossible to get one. They may have a select few available only at the turnstile ticket desks of Magic Kingdom the day of for anyone that has canceled. And doesn't mean they didn't get a refund. They just said they're not coming and they reallocated their tickets. Do not count on it. If you want to go, get them now. And there is only one night left at $169. The remainder at $189 or $199.
See, that kind of blows my mind, and it kind of forgoes my theory of that Universal has outpriced people for their event. That's why it's so slow this year. Mm-hmm. Because if people are still buying up those Not So Scary tickets at a way more expensive cost than what they're worth.
And I don't think they have that low. They don't have a lower maximum attendance either. I'm sure it's gone up.
No, there's no way. From a business standpoint, there's no way they did. They limited tickets more than they have in the past years.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. They've been They definitely not limited more. I think they've raised their limits actually.
Mm-hmm. So
wild stuff. And then finally, for Disney this week, announced September 3rd, a brand new show will be making its way to Disney's Hollywood Studios and replacing the beloved and sorely to be missed Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy.
Oh, yes. But as much as that show was the best thing in the park, it is being replaced with something 1 million times better.
We'll see. We will see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We have 2 pieces of concept art.
Yeah, but I mean, just the concept alone.
Oh, yeah, I know. It looks great. It's going to be really cool.
Just the concept alone. You couldn't have drugged me into going to see that Lightning McQueen.
I saw it before. It's pretty good.
I probably would have taken my kid into it. But, I mean, with you doing a villains attraction, you got me sold there, bud.
The new Dylan show, Disney.
You cannot talk tonight.
I cannot. I haven't had a sip of alcohol. Maybe that's why. I need a drink. Disney Villain Show, unnamed, no official title, will be replacing Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy in the Sunset Showcase on Sunset Boulevard later this year or next year. Probably next year. It'll open up next year.
I'm sure.
The Cars attraction will be closing permanently on October 7th. So I'm going to try to get out there and catch it one more time. Maybe I'll be there for the closing show.
Yep. Just camp out for it.
The blurb for the attraction, quote, "The creative minds at Disney Live Entertainment will transform Sunset Showcase into the mysterious, reflective realm of the magic mirror from Snow White. The show will feature appearances by dozens, plural, so 24 plus, of the most infamous evildoers with fiendish foes Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, and Maleficent each breaking through the glass to take stage in production numbers." And that is shown here in the concept art, where there are multiple mirrors as well as the magic mirror and artist pieces strewn across the stage and behind and around, featuring the main one featuring Cruella on a stage surrounded by her fashion designs. Now, I wonder if they're implementing this because Cars, again, very popular still. We're getting a Cars attraction at Magic Kingdom. We're also getting a Villains Land, or we got a Cars Land Cars attraction at Villains Land and Villains Land attractions at Magic Kingdom. Do you think they're putting this in, Dave, to satiate the demand for villains, since that Villains Land is going to be the last thing that opens for sure?
I think the attractions they're putting over there at the end of Sunset Boulevard are meant to be temporary attractions in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's time for a reboot. And
I mean, the Cars piece opened up in 2019, so it's about 5 years.
It's an easy way to update the park and bring in new guests without having to spend a butt ton of money. So
right. I mean, they are introducing way more live actors, which costs a bit more than the Cars deal. And I would imagine, based on the concept and the current situation of the Sunset Showcase, they're not going to add chairs to this place. You're just going to be sitting on the floor, very similar to the Racing Academy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they feel the need to force. Maybe they do feel the need to force villains into one of the parks earlier. Because I mean,
Hollywood Studios makes the most sense.
I mean, you look at Not So Scary. People pay a shit ton of money to go meet with those rare villains that you don't get to see in the parks very often. You know, it's especially with Universal announcing their Classic Monsters Land, when they saw how excited people were for that. You know, why not try and push your villains a little harder? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hey, villains make that money. Let's transition over to our Universal news. Couple pieces here. Starting over on Universal Studios Japan. They have revealed and shown off some of their food options to be incorporated with the Pokemon Halloween at Universal Studios Japan. And gosh, I hope once we get Pokemon here, if ever, that we can get some of this fun Halloween additions for it, at least during the daytime at our parks. So over at Universal Studios Japan, some of the food offerings here, and Halloween themed, we have the Mimikyu's White Cream Cutlet Burger Plate.
Okay.
How do you feel about White Cream Burger?
If it comes from Japan, I'm trying it. Yes.
Yeah. It's a pork cutlet burger, breaded pork cutlet, fried to a crisp, topped with a rich white cream sauce. And inside the burger is a soft boiled fried egg.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And you get a salad. You get a salad, fries, and chips. So you get French fries, chips, and a salad on the side.
Yep. I'm eating it.
Alrighty. We have DJ Gengar Appears black beef stew in a pie crust plate. Served with black rice, salad, and a drink for this one.
Yeah, I get it, but beef stew doesn't really tickle my fancy too much.
Large, puffy purple pastry crust that when broken reveals a steaming hot beef stew.
They like to do those bread bowls of stuff.
It's like an inverted bread bowl. You also have, and then it also comes with grilled pumpkin, broccoli, and cherry tomatoes. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then finally here we have DJ Pikachu's lemon soda drink. Zesty lemon soda. Somewhat sour. With fruit. Here's your part. The popping fruit balls.
Boba.
Offering a nice sweet taste when you bite to it and it covers your inner cheek.
Wow, what great marketing.
So that's all
balls
fun.
Popping on my cheeks.
The drink is 1,700 yen and the food items are 2,400 yen. I never have the conversions in my brain, but I don't think
they're pretty simple. It's pretty much $17, $24.
So 1 yen is less than a penny.
Well, 100 yen is about $1.
Yeah, 2,400 yen, $17. You're right. And then 1,700 for the drink, $12 for the drink. Which, fancy mocktail?
Oh,
why not?
Well, it must have gone down because I'm pretty sure 100 yen used to be about $1. So
who knows? All right, over to Universal. We're going to keep going around the globe here. Universal Studios Hollywood, opening this week, brand new additions to their City Walk. Hello Kitty Cafe and Saniro Shop opens up. I believe the soft opening, or no, they've already opened. Friday, September 6th, they are open. They are located next to each other in the heart of City Walk, and they complement the Animation Studio store inside Universal Studios Hollywood. And all these locations offer Hello Kitty themed merchandise, including exclusive items only at these particular shops. At the beverage and cafe, they got a couple desserts and beverages. You got the Hello Kitty Mousse Dome, strawberry cake, berry and cream churro, birthday cake, macaroon set, and a Hello Kitty cookie. I don't know about the Mousse Dome. I don't like domes, man. I don't like the concept. They cost a lot. Crunching into them. And this one is a red chocolate dome shaved cake with cinnamon mousse and apple pie filling and cinnamon streusel.
Yeah, no.
I don't need.
My stomach's hurting just thinking about it.
Berry stuffed churro with cream cheese frosting. And as far as beverages here, Dave, you got the Hello Kitty strawberry green iced tea, My Melody lemonade, which is strawberry lemonade yellow sugar rim with strawberries and lemons inside. Berry iced tea, a Tuxedo Sam lemonade, which is blue raspberry lemonade, matcha latte, and frozen mocha coffee. All these things have boba in them.
Yeah, boba's big over there.
Big old bobas. Big bouncing bobas bumbling behind Bobo. I lost it.
Yeah.
You may have seen a new addition to the Universal Mega Movie Parade at Universal Studios Orlando, finally debuting late last week. The Raptor Paddock Float has now joined the Mega Movie Parade. It is coming ahead of the T-Rex Finale Float. And then the Raptor Paddock Float, of course, another rectangular shape. It's built up like the Raptor Paddocks in the Ilsa Nublar facility. And you have a couple of the spitter guys, which don't remember their name. Hadrosaur.
No, that's a Dilophosaur.
Dilophosaurus. And there's a couple of raptors in the back that move around, have kinetic energy. And now Owen Grady is riding on this float instead of walking around. And they have added additional baby raptor handlers to walk around in front of this float. So it's great that they're adding new additions. We can expect maybe one or two more come post Mardi Gras once the Mega Movie Parade returns after its nice little refurbishment and slumber during Holiday Parade and Mardi Gras parades. Brand new news, I believe, came out today or yesterday here, Dave. Going to both coasts, Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood, they'll be offering a new experience, which is a glorified gift shop for the film adaptation of Wicked.
I did see that. I did not get to read up on it.
Well, over in Universal Studios Orlando, it's inside the park of Universal Studios Florida. It is taking over the Betty Boop, the Universe and Hello Kitty shops over there in the Production Central and Hollywood area. And the outside, they're going to be paving a yellow brick road, and it's all green, and it has Ariana Grande as Pink Wicked, and then they have the other one as Green Wicked sitting on these big displays, and they have, I believe, screen-used costumes in the window. Not only on that, you'll be able to step into the fantastical land of Oz, see a couple pieces of concept art, and also show off some costumes from it. And you also, of course, have the ability to buy some merchandise inspired by the films, including a duffel bag, tumbler, hat, journal, spirit jersey, of course, t-shirts, hoodies, and the like. As the movie continues to build up, they'll continue to add more. And as you may or may not know, Wicked is actually a 2-part movie. Part 2 will be out next year. So expect this store and experience to exist at least through that. I've never seen any adaptation or performance of Wicked. I don't think this movie looks very good. And
No.
they're destroying my beautiful Universe shop, which at Universal Studios Florida, they had a higher great higher quality clothing store called Universe. And it has some really cool designs. The fabric was much higher quality than the standard theme park shirt. And there's a lot of great things that are coming out of it. They were really focusing on, Felix the Cat, Woody Woodpecker, Back to the Future, Jaws, E.T., and a couple of other older properties of the sort, and coming out with great stuff that you kind of want to buy and wear when you're at a theme park. With them removing that particular store and adding this wicked, and I don't mean that with the nice adjective, the film wicked experience attraction buying center kind of stinks. Not what I want to see, and I think it does not look very good. I mean, the exterior art, did you see the art?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't really look at it too in depth.
It's not very attractive. Too much green, way too much green. Final news story of the night, Dave. And this, it's not exactly theme park news. I'm kind of interested in what you think this has any implication for the future. So over with Warner Brothers and HBO, they have stated they're holding a UK open casting call for the new adaptation of the Harry Potter series, and they're looking to cast the new Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger for the upcoming HBO original series, Harry Potter, of course. And they're looking for kids aged 9 to 11, and they intend to have filming start in April of 2025. That being said, with these auditions kicking off and the series about to start filming and debuting, what do you think that has any impact for our Harry Potter lands now or in the future? Be it new attractions, will they incorporate the new cast into the live action pieces? Will they recast them into the previous Harry Potter experiences? Or does it kind of depend on how well the TV show is received?
Well, obviously, first off, it's going to depend on how well the TV show is received.
I think that's a given. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah. Second off, I think there's a high chance that this series is going to be met with a lot of hate.
Really?
Obviously, I guess we don't know plots or anything like that. I'm assuming it's going to take place in between, assume it's going to take place on portions we didn't see in the middle of the movie, kind of like the From Dusk Till Dawn series did, where they expanded on the universe.
It's going to run through the full books once again. So season 1 will be book 1. You get more than 2 hours to explain what's happening. I'm sure Peeves will actually be in the series this time.
Yeah, it's
a lot of cuts.
Like the From Dusk Till Dawn series. I don't know if you ever watched that on El Rey.
I did not. I heard it was pretty good.
It was very good. It went through the movie piece by piece, but it had so much filler in between the scenes that we didn't see in the movie. So, I mean, it was good, but, I just, people are very nostalgic when it comes to Harry Potter. You have people outraged that Hermione's voice is wrong in the Hogwarts Express ride.
It sounds much better, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's this is a franchise that has to be done right. And so I guess we'll see. Harry Potter fans are very, very particular about their source material, so we'll see. I still don't see it affecting our current state of attractions.
Though let's talk a little deeper future with maybe a 4th Universal Dry Park opening, and we have another Harry Potter area. Will they use the new cast? You have 2 different casts operating in the world now?
Well, so yes and no. Yes, I'll give you my reason why it could be yes. And the reason why it could be yes is we're running out of source material for the parks when it comes to attractions and things to do, because they've already had to switch over to part Fantastic Beasts because we're kind of running out of things. Mm-hmm. The 3 big things that we thought we might get were the Hogwarts, Diagon Alley, and the Ministry of Magic. So now we're going to have all 3 of those. So I'm not sure what else there is to incorporate, and we even have the Forbidden Forest with the Hagrid's, ride now too.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, the Quidditch pitch in Forbidden Journey. We have, I don't know where else they could go with it. So that's why I see them possibly using it in a new park.
Right.
But it also could hurt continuity of the current attractions we already have, because if it's a storyline that follows the books to a T with just a little extra filler,
right,
it's going to hurt the continuity of our other parks.
And that's why
you're going to go
froze the question, will they go back? Could you see them going back, rather? Not, we don't know if they will or not. Could you see them going back and putting in the new cast and replacing Radcliffe, Watson, and Grint?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I do not see that happening at all. Not a chance. I mean, if this thing takes off and is more beloved than the original series,
likely will take off. I can't vouch I can't anticipate it being more popular. It will take off. I think they're going to do fine.
Yeah, but I don't see them uprooting Radcliffe and the main trio for a new cast. I just don't see it happening.
Well, if any of our dear listeners have a piece of their mind they want to touch on for that, bring it on. We love to hear it and discuss a bit more. Because I think as we go along, and especially as the series starts becoming available in 25 or probably 26, maybe 27, we'll see. We'll have a better grasp of where it's going to be, because we're not going to get a 4th park for a while.
Yeah, it would be hard for me because I consider myself more of a purist when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
And theme park attractions. I don't mind a good reboot now and then, but I am for sure a purist. So, but yeah, I know that's kind of oxymoronic saying I'm a purist, but I don't mind a reboot now and again, but I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. But
well, we don't have the original cast reprising their role in the Ministry of Magic ride. They didn't want to.
But it's still, the continuity is still going to be based off them. So,
right.
Okay. It's still, we're still looking at the same characters.
I'm looking at you, Hermione.
So,
all right, Dave, that will close up our news segment for the week. We did a great job tonight. I really feel we did. We got our closing pieces here. We have some Horror Nights houses ranked from previous years and Wall of Shame. Where do you want to go first?
Let's do Horror Nights houses previous years. Let's just bounce through those real quick.
Okay.
So let's start off with 2005. We're going to start off with 2005, and you're going to give me your favorite house of that year. And friends, family, folks, I did not attend these years, so I will not be able to tell you which house I preferred, but I'm going to tell you which house I would, if I had a time machine and I could go back and I got to pick one house, I'm going to tell you the house I could go through. So go ahead and give me your 2005 favorite and an honorable mention if you want.
Yeah. So back in 2005, we only had 7 houses. We're not at the 10 quite yet. 10, and this was over in Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Orlando. This was the one and only. Or no, sorry, this was only. No, I'm confused. This was Islands of Adventure. This is the Terra Quintus Storyteller year.
Yes.
2 houses have me tied up. My honorable mention is definitely going to the original. First time we see Body Collectors here. Excellent house, super cool design based off the gentleman from Buffy. But a very good, very house. Visceral. We get the spine rip gimmick show scene, which is so cool to always see. However, the number one house for me, because it scared the absolute fuck out of me. And this Body Collectors was in the Thunder Falls Terrace restaurant. The one that scared the fuck out of me was Terror Mines, which was located in the Poseidon's Fury queue. And for this particular house, this was a very limited gimmick for this particular house. This was takes place in a dark mine shaft inhabited by various disturbing creatures. This is the one and only year they used the Poseidon's Fury walkthrough attraction to hold a house. And it was extremely dark because you're inside the show building, of course, but they left it very dark on purpose to give it that dark mine shaft feeling. And the gimmick was every 12th guest got a miner's helmet with the light on it that would intermittent flicker and strobe. And I was the guest to get the helmet when I did my walkthrough. Oh. It's just because there's no other light. And if I'm not looking forward, and in 2005, I would have been 12 or 13. It's still pretty damn scary for me. And I'm looking down and just, it just a very, very intense experience. And people popping out of their boo hole, and I look at them and they're fully illuminated. I said, oh. Very cool experience to have something like that. If I ever had my own haunted house and the kind of funds, I would do a similar kind of experience and gimmick for that one.
So my house, if I had a time machine and I could go back and do it, is Terror Mines, because the gimmick, because the headlamps. The honorable mention I would have had would have been Demon Cantina.
Also
didn't get to
very good.
Just because, that's back when it started to where we could not use IPs, but it was a loosely based off of From Dusk Till Dawn house. So, I think I would have done that one too. But Terror Mines would have been my number one house. I would have rope dropped Terror Mines for sure.
Good pick.
So, let's move on to 2006 and go and give me your house for 2006.
Oh man, this is an easy pick here. Scream House: The Resurrection, our third iteration of the Scream House series. The Caretaker's back. We have one of the more official, unofficial first viewings of Cindy, his daughter. And this one was not just a redo of Scream House and Scream House 2, where Revisited was kind of the same. Resurrection, brand new version, brand new intensity, and the Albert Kane, the Kane house, is now being brought back, and he's trying to actively resurrect Cindy into the mortal realm. And Caretaker's my favorite guy. Absolutely one of the best. This whole year was a great knockout year. Psycho Scarapy was really good. All Night Die Take 2, really good. Psychopath, one of the scarier ones because I barely remember it. However, Scream House is going to be the winner. And also, if you didn't know, Dave, for this here in 2006, People Under the Stairs, under the construction, those lantern helmets made a return.
That's actually the house I would have picked to go to.
Yep.
Is People Under the Stairs, just because I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I know that it had been a staple of Horror Nights in the past, and I mean, I would have liked to enjoy it. I
remember the set design for People Under the Stairs being very sparse. It felt like a budget house, especially if they're reusing stuff from the year before.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at it, People Under the Stairs
to be budgeted.
Half the movie takes place in a crawl space. So I mean, what kind of set design can you really do with that? Just a great Wes Craven film. Was that Wes Craven or John Carpenter?
Wes Craven.
That was Wes Craven. A great Wes Craven film. So that's probably the one I would have gone with. I would have enjoyed going to any house that year, to be honest with you, though. So 2007 should be a pretty easy year for you. This is a very popular year.
Oh man,
in the lore of Horror Nights. So
a lot of good houses once again. Even the IPs, as this was very IP heavy. Before I give my favorite, let me give a quick shout out and honorable mention to two different ones here. Psycho Scarapy, Home for the Holidays. Always a delightful twist to throw another holiday in there. The whole gimmick was a van full of the of the Shady Brooks Asylum or Shady Brooks Sanatorium mental patients had crashed their transportation truck and they took over a cul-de-sac on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good.
And if anybody has done any research into Horror Nights history, there's a high chance you've heard of the bathroom, the infamous bathroom from that house.
Yeah, these years in the mid 2000s, late aughts, they were still using a very pungent, disgusting shit smell.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knew, and like, oh god, psychoscarapy, you know that room's in here.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, which may surprise you here, my second most favorite house was Thing Assimilation.
You know, that house seems like it would have been really good because it's a sequel to the
movie,
the 1980 Kurt Russell movie.
Yep.
Not 1980, but
1980s.
82.
Yep.
80s.
This
Kurt Russell
house, movie. I had the opportunity to go to employee team member preview back then, since they can invite one guest and sometimes multiple guests. And I was fortunate enough that my dad knew somebody and we all got to go. I remember going on team member preview and the house was so much darker. They were using red klaxon alarm lights and it was a lot more intense. And then when I went again a week or two later, they had brightened it up. They got rid of the red lights and it was like, oh man, it was such a special experience going on team member preview. All that said, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Dreamwalkers, best house that year. Absolute easy pick. Such a great interstitial piece of the lore and the no-dose drug being introduced, and they had a very long, very in-depth Q video. And I remember the intensity and the Freddy Krueger and how many this house had so many strobe lights.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking great.
That's the house I would go back if I could go to. Go back, get to sleep well, and go through that house. Obviously, every house that year I would have wanted to go through. What a strong year. Dead Silence. I heard they had a wonderful effect that you're walking in the rafters of the theater, looking over
was
down.
Really good. And that was used in
Gothic.
Gothic.
It was used in Gothic.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think another honorable mention would have been Vampire Bloodbath, taking place in the old Nazarmans. Just because, again, we're taking a house and we're taking an IP and we're making it our own. Because this was loosely based off the club scene from the Blade movie. We
had a couple of those vampire houses, which was always fun to see additional sequels to those originals.
And this house, if I'm not mistaken, actually had an outside portion.
Yeah, you traveled between the two different
took you out into
pieces.
Sting Alley, if I'm not correct.
Yes, you went through Sting Alley to get to the last portion of the house, which again, also very cool, really unique. That was the last time that was used.
Yeah, last time the Nazarman's house was used.
Which brings us to 2008.
2008. Another bomb year. These are all good years, man.
Yeah, great. You're telling me, such a strong run. I mean, you could even go pretty early aughts, but I mean, 2006 to 2011, banger after banger.
Oh yeah.
2008. I mean, a lot of great picks once again. Body Collectors, Collections of the Past, extremely good, great house.
And I'll go ahead and touch it. That's one of my honorable mentions. The original would have been great. But the fact that they took Body Collectors and forced them into the past to where they were actually Jack the Ripper. They were the ones doing all the Jack the Ripper killings. They put history into it and bended history around the house. I thought that was really cool. Definitely one of my honorable mentions there.
I loved it. I remember there was this you're walking down like an old European alleyway and they had like this
back in Chapel Hill.
They had this really, really tight boo hole, and you're just walking down straight, and there's a tiny turn to the left, and you make a tiny turn to the right. And during that tiny turn, there's a small like slit boo hole, and the bike collector would just quickly jut out and jut back in. Oh man, that's such a good spot. Easy pick for number one though, Dead Exposure. We talked about it. Check out our two-parter episode, episode 32 and episode 30. 30 of HHN Icons. We talked in depth about this year and 2007. Basically every year we're going over at the moment. Where we talked about the icons and the houses they had. Dead Exposure, I would say like a revolutionary haunted house experience with how it was built up, how the execution went through, and just the performance the scare actors put out for it.
This house, by many people's accounts, is the scariest house that Halloween Horror Nights has ever put in the event.
I could definitely see it.
I've heard that from many people that have attended the event since 1991. They say that Dead Exposure is the best house they've ever been to. That's my time machine house there. So,
if you can even do just one house, that might be it.
Yeah, that's for sure. That probably, if I had a time machine to go back one time out of any event, that's probably the one I'd go to.
And the final one for this string of houses, and then we have like one more of these before I can only make my time machine guesses. Man, 2009.
Well, they're fun to do too.
Oh, absolutely. I could definitely do that. And then, you do the first year, it's easy pick. At least you got that. 2009, the Usher's year. This is not the strongest of years, and then we get 2010 and 2011 right after. So it gets kind of lost in the mix for me. I can tell you that The Spawning is my least favorite. Gosh. I'm probably going to go with Frankenstein Creation of the Damned with Dracula Legacy and Blood right behind it. Those are two really strong, based off the original classic monster houses with a very original visions of it. I just remember Frankenstein being such a gigantic looming bastard and had a really, really cool design with a contemporary twist. Same thing with Dracula. I just found Frankenstein a bit more appealing, and he always has been for me.
So, to wrap up our little dive back into the past, I've heard it from so many people. So many people have said this. But the house that always caught my attention when I was doing research on this year, even though I couldn't go, was The Spawning. So if I had to, go back,
nonsense.
If I had to go back, I've heard it's terrible. It's the house that interested me the most whenever I was, wanting to attend the event that year. Because I tried to go that year. It would have been The Spawning. I followed the event as it was getting released that year, and The Spawning looked very cool to me. Just the poster and, it being a Fangoria
it was sponsored
type
by
thing,
them.
and it was Chud in haunted house form. So
Chud. We'll tell you that they did have Chucky Friends to the End, where this particular concept had you shrunk down to the size of toys, or at least your smaller version of yourself. So because there was all live actors performing as Chucky to make Chucky seem a bit more relative size instead of 18 inches doll running around. So it's a pretty cool concept. It was not well received either.
The only thing I ever want back from Chucky is his Scare Zone or Insult Emporium.
Gotta go to Hollywood, man. They got it.
Although we did have fun. We did have fun.
Let Chuck say fuck.
In the Chucky house. And a lot of times these houses, they can be terrible, but it's the company you take inside them with you.
You gotta make it. You gotta help them make it.
You make memories.
Alrighty, Davey. Last segment, last piece, Wall of Shame. Your favorite piece of it.
Wall of Shame. If you want to leave a Wall of Shame, all you gotta do is call 407-490-2220, 407-490-2220, or text. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a Wall of Shame. We haven't had nobody leave a Wall of Shame, really. We've had people call and bash me on my quote unquote wrong knowledge. But call and leave us something.
You can't be wrong, Dave. You're a podcast host. Everyone knows you're always right.
Exactly.
Or leave a review for that phone number. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I actually had a different Wall of Shame until we started talking about Wicked, and this brought me to a different Wall of Shame. So I'll save my other one for next week.
All right.
My Wall of Shame, this girl got on Facebook and posted, with her small little service animal that, not going to say it's not a service animal or any of those things, because you can't sit there and judge somebody on a disability when you don't know them just by their looks or just by the looks of their service animal.
That's right.
Well, she is touting all over social media that she is not going to support Universal in seeing the movie Wicked. She posted this in the theme parks pages on social media. I believe it was the pass holder page. The reason she is not going to support Universal in buying tickets to Wicked is because when she was at the park, Ariana Grande was also at the park with her service animal. Ariana Grande's service animal apparently lunged at her service animal, which caused her to go complain to Universal and try and get Ariana's service animal kicked out of the park, in which they did not do. She told Universal it's a fake service animal and they need to kick it out of the park, which they did not do. But anybody with a real service animal and a disability knows that the Americans with Disability Act prevents a private company or entity from questioning somebody about a fake service animal. So, and some people were posting in the comments, oh, do your research. Look, her animals are service animals. Here's the thing. You cannot judge a person based on how they look or how they act on whether or not it's a service animal or not. Now, yes,
you've been
a
very
service animal is
consistent on this the entire show.
Yes. A service animal is supposed to be under control and performing that service, but, and they're not supposed to lash out at other dogs or anything like that. So I understand where she's coming from, that it was not acting as a service animal at that point in time, but that's not a lawsuit that Universal wants to go after or get involved with. I promise you that. There are two things you can do. You can ask, is it a service animal? And what does a service animal perform?
That's it.
At the same time, yes, that's it. At the same time, if the animal is not performing the service or running around untrained, off leash, then yes, you can ask that person to leave. But it is still a major lawsuit that you can get yourself involved with. And especially with a celebrity with the status of Ariana Grande, you're not going to force her to take her service dog out of the park and open up that can of worms. So
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Like,
so why you see all that bullshit in the shopping grocery stores.
And you know what? She told the story on Facebook, and I'm going to quote the father from Stepfathers at this point. Dale, I don't give a fuck.
Whoa, call him out.
I do not give a fuck about your... What? No. That's not the person's name. That's what in Step Brothers. He says to his son,
God,
Dale, I do not give a fuck.
Damn it! I don't like wine. Shit.
No. In the movie Step Brothers, Dale is asking him questions after question after question, and the stepfather says, Dale, I do not give a fuck. So I was just quoting him about their post. No, I'm not going to release names or anything like that because it's something that people can go online and probably see if she hasn't deleted it already. But yeah, nobody gives a fuck that Ariana Grande's service dog lunged at your dog and it scarred you.
Great deal. Take it up with her.
Yeah.
Take it up with the old Grande large Baja.
You're really gonna hurt her by not going to see Wicked.
Maybe they'll get all their adoring fans to boycott together.
Oh, jeez.
Wall of shame here from Bill. There's been plenty viable candidates for Wall of Shame when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. The one I'm picking out today. This guy posts, while observing the insane amount of nasty drunks at HHN, I came up with a great solution. Ew. Everyone who wants to drink has to pre-register and be tested to see what kind of drunk they are. And you get a wristband. You get a wristband if you're okay to drink. So goofy, happy, and flirty drunks are okay. Yes, it's okay. Be goofy and falling down slapstick, and then flirty, non-consensual flirting, of course, is okay. Aggressive and angry drunks would not be allowed to drink alcohol.
Yeah, that would know? Totally work.
How would you fucking know?
That would totally work. I've seen a happy, goofy, fun drunk turn to angry, aggressive drunk in 2 seconds with my job. So, there's no scientific exam that could be given. What are you going to do?
This guy's a top contributor to the pass order page. He has a plan. A great solution.
You know what? I'm all for that idea, so long as Universal provides the booze for the pre-test. Then I get, but for free. You go register. They say, okay, we're gonna test you, and you get drunk today. Okay, sign me up.
Oh my god. A person commented, how would one pre-register and get tested to see what kind of drinker they are? Is there a test that exists you're aware of? The guy, post creator, says, we would have to make a test. Daily drinking in a group and a rating system to determine what kind of drunk person you are. So it's a social gathering of rating of, this guy's a fucking asshole. Don't let him drink.
I want to hate this post, but I have no choice but to believe that is a satirical post.
No. This guy was doubling down.
Oh, jeez.
I'm rating Dave as an angry drunk. No drinking for him.
I'm actually a very happy drunk.
The angriest
and very
drunks.
Fun.
The worst drunk.
I'm a very happy drunk. Unless the Steelers lost, then.
Oh, then no excuses.
Yeah, well, the Steelers aren't playing while I'm there this year, so.
They won their first game. They're 1-0. Yeah, they're undefeated.
So are the Eagles. Yeah, Steelers undefeated. Are number 1 in the AFC North. So.
Well, friends, thank you all so much for listening to us. Hope you enjoy your wine, or if you don't drink it, whatever else you imbibe on. We'll be back again with episode 34 coming up real soon. Again, 407-490-2220, parktalkradio@gmail.com. Like us on all the socials, and give Brennan some love. She's doing a great job making our reels, TikToks, and the social media content. I'm headed on a cruise, Dave. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm disembarking. I am taken to the seas.
Later, dog. Have fun.
I'll see you in the ocean.